Welcome, everyone that is joining us. We are going to get started in just a few moments. We're going to let everyone jump in. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope everyone is staying warm on this cold day and this cold week. But we are very excited to have you here with us today. My name is Jamie Watts. I'm the Deputy Director for the Division of Small Business and Tourism. And we are excited to be able to launch our EDGE program again this year, starting next week. And so, thank you for joining us to learn a little bit more about this program and learn more about how to apply and what the steps are in order to do that. Before we get started, I want to point out in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, you should be seeing a QR code. So please scan that or go to menti.com and use the code that you see there. That is a survey that we're asking everyone to participate in. It's an opportunity for us to get to know where you're coming from, a little bit more about your business, and also to help us with this conversation. So please take a minute right now to jump on that and go through the questions. It will not take long whatsoever. And we'll be able to, at the end of this presentation, go over and see what the results were. If you miss it for any reason right now, it will be up on the screen towards the end as well in case you need it to be live again later on. So today, just to kind of go a little bit over the agenda, it's going to be right after we get started with this welcome. We have our regional business managers and our finance director on the call to answer all of your questions and make sure that you are prepared for your EDGE application. And so Joe is going to start about EDGE, and then we're going to talk about some of the application requirements with our Finance Director JJ. And then we're going to have Gemini and Anastasia also share a little bit about the program. And then we're going to have time for Q&A. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free throughout to use the Q&A function at the bottom and submit your question. If you've already submitted a question with your registration, don't worry about it. You do not need to submit another one. We have it and we are prepared to talk about it. So we're very excited to have you all with us today. It's been a great year. The EDGE program is one of our flagship programs, and we're happy that you're taking the time right now to learn more about it and get your questions answered, because the best of the best win this program, and we have so many people that apply. And you're going to hear a little bit more about that as I turn it over to one of our regional business managers, Joe.
Hi, great. I'm Joe Zlakowski. I'm the regional business manager. I do majority of STEM businesses in film and production. And then if something doesn't fit into one of our categories, I also help Newcastle County companies. A little background about EDGE. It's been around since 2019. We've had 127 winners, and we've given away over $9 million. Last fall, we changed the program slightly and started EDGE 2.0. And EDGE 2.0 is slightly different, where we've split the pots. We have the entrepreneur category, which will have a $400,000 pot, and the STEM category, which is a $750,000 pot. That pot can go, those categories can have all of the finalists could be a winner, and it can be split up evenly, or if the judges just like one or two, they can decide which companies get the most money. Just to give you an idea, for EDGE 2.0 in the fall, approximately 7% of the applicants were winners. That means 93% were not, approximately 93 were not winners. This is a very competitive process. So as you learn about the process, realize that you're going to be going up against a lot of different companies and that your ask has to be super compelling because it is a competition. We're going to go over some items, but the one thing you really want to remember is the judges are grading via the rubric. So make sure you follow the rubric as you apply. Can you go back one so I can get all there? Right, yeah. So yeah, there's up to 18 potential awardees and a scaled award amount. And then at the end, all of the finalists, even if you're not a winner, we will do a comprehensive business scoping for you so that help you really look into your business and how to improve it. Okay, you can move on. And then here's a past winner. No volume. Shoot, I think we're having some technical difficulties. Um, but it's a very comprehensive process. And basically, what will happen is you'll apply. If you make the finals, we'll let you know and we'll help prep you for the finals. Also, you can reach out to us for help on your applications too. And then if you are one of the winners, we have a reception for you. This is the last reception we had at University of Delaware, and the governor attended, and these are some photos from that. And now I'm going to pass it over to JJ. She's going to explain the application process.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, I am JJ Moore, the Business Finance Director for the Division of Small Business. Last in the fall, one of our biggest changes, besides what Joe has gone over, is an online application. So our online application for Edge is located in the same place it was for the fall season. That you can find that in the About Us in the Division of Small Business portal. Once you get to the portal, you're going to click on the Services and Payment Portal button, that blue button right there in the middle of the screen, and it's going to ask you to log in. If you have a login, I ask that you use the one that you've already used. There is a forgot password button once you get to that screen if you don't remember your password. If you don't remember your information, you can also reach out to us to get that email address that you need to log in and get your password straight. Once you log in, there's a series of tiles there for all the programs that we use, but the one that you'll be looking for is this one on your screen, and that is the Edge 2.0 Grant Competition tile. As you see, in the top left-hand corner is the Edge program. That will take you back to the landing page to give you more information. On that landing page on our website will contain this webinar as well as previous webinars that we've done, especially one that if you've never done this application before, there's one that will walk you through the entire application and show you how to apply and additional information. So your templates, your rubrics, all of those things will be located on that landing page. You're going to click on View Program Details, and that will take you to the application. Once you click on View Program Details, there'll be some more information about what is needed, which will be also on the document upload page as well. But if you need additional information, there are links throughout the application to go back to that landing page. Other than that, technical assistance will be available throughout the application period. So if you get stuck for any reason on the application, whether you're in it or trying to apply, please reach out to the division at our general number, and then we'll get someone to assist you with that. As you can see, all the information that you need is here, and then you'll hit apply for program. Also, if you see here at the bottom of the screen right above apply for program, is more details are available here that will take you back to the landing page that I just previously mentioned. A couple of things that I want to point out, which are on the next slide, that are important during your application process. The application itself is pretty easy to fill out. However, once you get to the end of after the end of the application, you've uploaded your documents, it will ask you to sign a form. Once you sign the form, it will take you back to this screen. So if you look at this bottom example where it says submit application, it says complete application. You must press this blue button in order for your application to save and be sent to our division for review. If you do not press this button, your application is not submitted and it will not be considered. So I know that there'll be an email that pops up when you go to sign the document, and an email that lets you know that you signed the document. But in order to submit the application, you will need to press that blue complete application button. Now, if you're not sure if you actually completed the application, or if at any point you want to stop, you can stop at any point during the application as long as you hit save and continue along the way. You can go back and revisit and start right back where you left off. In the Edge application itself, if you click on View Program Details, it'll show you where you applied before. So if you look at this top example, you'll see where I've submitted an application and I can view that I've submitted that. And then if it's in progress still, you see that the application has basically my application number. It says in progress, and then it says resume. It is that portion where you can click on that and go back. You do not need to start multiple applications. So let's say you want to start the application, get all the, your EIN in, your name, all of those basic details in there, and then you want to go work on your proposal. You can go ahead and start it, hit save and continue, let it take you to the next blank page, and then you can come back out of it and hit resume at any point. Again, as I stated earlier, if you need technical assistance, please contact the division at the general number, and then somebody will assist you. And now I'm going to pass it off to Gemini to tell you more about how to complete your proposal and the rubrics.
Thanks, JJ. So as JJ mentioned, I'm Gemini. I'm going to dive into how to complete your proposal. So let's start with formatting your proposal. So you must use a STEM or entrepreneur template on the website to format your proposal. Complete all sections. Type of business determines which template you see. So if you're not sure if your business falls in the STEM or entrepreneur, please reach out to one of our RBMs. The font, Times 12 New Roman and 12 point, double space up to 20 pages. If it is over 20 pages, those pages will not be reviewed. Please save as a PDF and upload when completing application. So on the left, you'll see the entrepreneur proposal, and on the right, you'll see the rubric. So let's look at the proposal on our left. The proposal for the entrepreneur contains 5 sections. Section 1 is the project introduction, company background, founder's qualification. Section 2 is the business need, which includes the business need details, alternatives, business need, and budget relevance. Section 3 is the return on investment, which includes the return on investment forecast, including the 5-year financial projections, the business growth potential and risk mitigation. Section 4 is the competitive advantage gain, which includes the market analysis, the gain competitive advantage, effectiveness, and efficiency, and also the customer insight and sustained competitive advantage. Section 5 is the community impact, which includes the significance of the community impact and the broader impact. So let's look to the right of the screen, which is the entrepreneur rubric. As you can see, this is strictly for the business need. Each category will have their own rubric. So you can score 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25. And as you're filling out this, you want to score the highest, which is a 25. So if you look at business need, which is section 2, in order to score the highest, that 2.1 business need details, the reviewers want to see that your proposal provides a compelling explanation of how the grant would address a unique business need or business opportunity that cannot be easily accomplished using current resources. Section 2.2, the alternatives, to score the highest, you would need to make sure that this includes an estimation of the market size, market growth, company projected growth sales, and competitive analysis. And on 2.3, the business need and budget relevance, the business need is completely tied back to the proposed budget. All items in the budget are explained and shown to be consistent with fulfillment of targeted business need. And here is the STEM project proposal. Again, on the left, you can see the proposal, and on the right, you can see the competitive advantage. So this proposal, STEM proposal, also has 5 sections. Section 1 is the project introduction, the company background, and founder's qualification. Section 2 is the business need, which includes the business need details, alternatives, and business need and budget relevance. Section 2 is the return on investment, which includes the project description and impact, return on investment, including a 5-year financial projection, additional fundraising, founder's qualification and experience, and strategic alignment. Section 4, the competitive advantage gain, which includes the market analysis, the gain competitive advantage and sustainability, and 4.3, customer insight and business opportunity. And last, section 5, the community impact, which includes the significance of the community impact. And again, if you look on the right, is the rubric for competitive advantage, which is section 4. And when filling out this, you want to score the highest, which would be section 20. So, for instance, the market analysis for that, for section 4, the proposal contains a thorough analysis of the marketplace that the new innovation may disrupt or enter into. Current capabilities of leading product in this market are explained, and reasons are given why they are inadequate relative to the proposed innovation or research. And then 4.2, the gain competitive advantage and sustainability. Proposal explains why, if research or innovation is successful, a new competitive advantage over incumbent firms would be created and how it can be sustained. Section 4.3, customer insight and business opportunity. Reviewers want to see that the proposal contains a thorough customer or potential customer insights to support its claim to have a profitable business opportunity. And I would highly suggest that when you're filling out the proposal, it's just download it onto your computer in an editable version so you can just fill in on those proposals in the sections. Section 4, four documents you will need to upload. The income statement, the balance sheet, and detailed budget all needs to be uploaded PDF form. A copy of your current non-expired state of Delaware business license. We will accept temporary business license too, as long as they're current. And that can be PDF preferred, but JPEG is accepted too. And if these documents are not uploaded, your submission will automatically be eliminated. So please make sure you follow those 4 submissions. So now let's take a look at the balance sheet versus the income statement. This is just a snapshot to show you what a balance sheet looks like and what an income statement will look like. So let's talk about the balance sheet versus the income statement. The balance sheet is a snapshot of what your business owns, assets, and how those things were funded, liabilities versus equity. Remember, a balance sheet shows the items at the price they were purchased for, or the cost incurred to make them. If you can't put a price on it, it probably doesn't belong on the balance sheet. The income statement shows the flow of revenue against expenses for a given period and shows the bottom line, profit or loss. Your business may not be making a profit yet, and that's okay. Just remember to be as detailed as you can be in the financials and the narratives. So here's what a detailed project budget should look like, which includes main categories is the item, the edge funding, and what are you matching it for. So as you can see, this person is requesting a total of edge funding $40,000, and they're going to match it with $13,333,000.33. Also, making sure that you start with how much is your business able to match when it comes to edge. So if you can only match at $3,333.33, you would ask for no more than $40,000. Now let's talk about the 3-to-1 match. When applying, you are required to show that you have some level of capital. All awardees require a 3-to-1 funding match. For example, to receive a $90,000 grant, a finalist must have secured $30,000 from other sources. Match should be specific to this project. Other grants can be used for your match also. Here's an example of your business license, which you will receive through the Division of Revenue. Remember, it must be current and non-expired. Also, if you do not have your business license, please visit onestop.delaware.gov. Eligible versus ineligible projects. So eligible products include building infrastructure and cosmetic enhancements, essential equipment, rent assistance, website design, market analysis assistance, and advertising assistance. Ineligible products include payroll expenses that are not attributed to the project outlined in the application, salaries or payments made to the company's ownership, the purchase of real estate, permits or government fees, taxes, and improvements to residential properties are all ineligible projects. And I'll turn it over to Joe so he can talk about additional points on the application.
Great, thanks, Gemini. There are a few extra ways to get some bonus points. This one, you can get 5 additional bonus points. And this one we also just changed. If you were a minority, a women-owned veteran, service-disabled veteran business, and an opportunity zone or in a downtown development district. In the past, you could get 10 points. Now it's one or the other. So you can only get a maximum of 5 points. But if you're one or both of these, you can get 5 additional points. And then we've also offered, if you're in the one of the governor's industries of interest, you can get 5 additional points. Those industries, and they'll be listed on the website, but it's fintech, biopharmaceutical manufacturing, agriculture, blue tech, tourism are some of them. And then on top of that, recreation and entertainment. So it should capture a lot of people, and you can get an additional 5 points if you're in one of those. And then I think you can go to the next one. Yeah, so I'm going to pass this on to Anastasia.
All right, thanks, Joe. So now I'm going to talk to you about a couple of ways, some tips if you're looking to apply for the EDGE grant for the first time, or if you applied before in the past. We encourage you to meet with one of us business managers to get guidance and feedback on your proposal. Sign up with one of our trusted resource partners to get guidance and feedback on your proposal as you're working through it. Do not request the upper amount of funding that's available in the pot. As Jim and I mentioned earlier, there is a match requirement. We want to make sure you're able to ask for exactly what you're able to secure and fund in. So be mindful of that as you're applying for this grant. Once you submit your EDGE grant proposal, we ask that you start working on a pitch deck, because in the event you get a call from us that you are making it to the pitch round, it's great that you've already created a slide deck and you're ready to start practicing pitching with one of us business managers. I also encourage you to practice with family and friends, get some critical feedback, and use that and answer some questions along with them. That'll help you with preparing for some of the questions, challenging questions that may come up from some of our judges. Also, if you do not make it to the pitch round, we strongly encourage that you would still engage in the process, come to the pitch competition, get feedback from the judges, take some notes, look at the different presentation styles, because you never know the next time you could be up there presenting. Deadlines for application is March 6, 2026 at 4 p.m. That is the deadline. Please do not wait until March 6th to submit your application. Please mark your calendars like a week before so you can get all of your documents and your application completed, so that way you're presenting the best of your business. Like Jamie mentioned earlier, we don't want any last minute stuff, and the chances of you getting a hold of one of us business managers on March 6th is really slim to none because of the flow of inquiries that may come in at that time, and we want to make sure you have the best service. Finalist notifications will go out on April 2nd. So when you get that call from us that you're going to the pitch round, we have a couple of weeks to help you with practicing. The pitch competition will take place on April the 30th, 2026 for the entrepreneur category, and May 1st, 2026 for the STEM category. The award ceremony will take place on May 12th, and additional information about the location and time will be announced when we get closer to those dates. After application is submitted, there are 4 rounds of internal review by our finance team. And as I mentioned on the previous slide, there are 2 judging dates, one for STEM and one for entrepreneur. After you receive the EDGE award, what's next? You sign your grant agreement. We run a compliance check before any funds are dispersed. Reporting requirements afterward
There's 5 years of a commitment to remain in the state of Delaware. And Edge Grant is considered taxable income. So consult with an accountant if you have any questions regarding your specific situation. Resources and information. Size Up Delaware is a free business analytics tool that we have available on our website. This has been used for several business owners as they're working on business plans, as well as pitch competitions, and when they're seeking investors. There's business performance that's measured on this tool. You can find out information about customers, suppliers, competitors, optimize your marketing advertising dollars, and analyze demographics. There is a live virtual assistant that can help you with any specific need that you have for your business. And we encourage you to visit our website and find out more information about that. Here are a couple, but definitely not all of our trusted resource partners. We work very closely with the Small Business Development Center's team of advisors, Launcher, and the Pete DuPont Freedom Foundation. Joe mentioned earlier that if you are a woman, minority, veteran, service-disabled veteran, or individual with disabilities, that you get extra points on your Edge Grant application. You do not have to have this certification in order to receive those additional points. However, at no cost to your business, you can become certified through the Office of Supplier Diversity. If you're looking for assistance with state procurement opportunities as well as training, please visit de.gov/OSD, or if you have any specific questions, you can email the director, Siobhan White, at osd@delaware.gov. If you're trying to figure out if your business is in an opportunity zone or in the downtown development district, on the right side of this slide, I have keyed in our office address. And as you can see, we are located in the downtown development district. If you key in your address by using this link on the map, it can determine where your business is located. And it's not a requirement to have a snapshot of this, but there's a lot of information that is really useful, again, in your business plan or in your proposal for data that is really helpful in showing the population size, per capita income, median household income, and a lot of other great information. So what's coming up next? We have an in-person Edge Grant workshop in partnership with Kent Economic Partnership on next Wednesday. So if you're interested in attending in person and finding out more resources about the Division of Small Business, we encourage you to come out and attend. I'm going to pass it over to Joe. I know he mentioned it in the beginning, but I know there are some people who just joined the webinar. So Joe.
Yeah, so I'm Joe Zolkowski, and just to clarify, so I work mainly with STEM businesses, fintech, life science, bioscience, film and production companies. So if you're in one of those categories, give me a call. Once Anastasia and Gemini mentioned theirs, if it doesn't fit into a category, then if you're in Newcastle County, also give me a call. Anastasia?
Thanks, Joe. All right, so I'm Anastasia Jackson, and the area that I cover is Kent County. The industries that I focused on are service-based industries. So if you have a hair salon, if you're a nail tech, service-based, hospitality, retail, and restaurant. Pass it over to Gemini.
Again, I'm Gemini Cornish. My industries of focus is professional services, agricultural, and consulting. And again, if you do not find if your business is not fit within an industries, I'm Sussex County.
All right, great. So we are having a couple of technical issues with Mentimeter. However, when I'm able to resolve that issue, we will provide the results of the answers. But at this time, we're going to take any questions. You can key them in the Q&A section, and we'll popcorn style and bounce the questions and answer them amongst the business managers and our finance director, JJ Moore.
So I did see a lot of questions revolving around the match. So since I covered that, I want to touch on that. So give some clarity on that. So let's say if I'm wanting to open up a state-of-the-art laundromat and I purchased the building and I want to use the Edge. I want to receive Edge funding to do outfit on the building. So I will be able to match. Maybe I want to get the top of the line washer and dryer combo that does both. So the match can be equipment, and things like that. and things in that nature. We do not ask for the money. So just look at as an investment back into your business.
Okay,
Folks,
this next question says, any difference between Edge 2.0 from the last time and this round?
Yeah, I think the main difference is you just get 5 points instead of 10 points if you're both opportunity zone and a minority owned businesses. There any other differences there might be a few minor ones. Here's another thing. I wouldn't just turn in the same application. We want to see that your company is advancing and you're growing. So I would recommend not just, if that's what you're thinking of doing, don't just turn in the same application. There's a question, what percentage get invited to pitch? Typically, it's not a percentage. I believe it is around 8 from the final get invited in each category.
Hey guys, would you like me to read from the pre-submitted list of questions plus those that I've gathered? It might be easier for you.
That'd
yes,
be great.
please.
That works.
All right. Okay, we had two questions that were related to, is this for startups or those not in business? So I'm a brand new startup just getting off the ground. Is it too early to be applying for the EDGE program?
Is this for startups, any business less than 7 years? It is a little more difficult as a pure startup to win, but in the fall we had Juniper Market. They haven't opened their doors yet, and they were one of the winners. So yes, very much startups are welcome. And if you don't win, you can actually when you apply the next time, you can actually see your business growth. So it's actually probably helpful for you too.
Thanks, Joe. Are EDGE grants compatible with handyman type businesses, hair salons? What types of businesses is the EDGE grant program good for?
Yeah, we actually had a handyman business make the finals in the fall. They didn't win, but they made the finals. It's more based on your project. What is your project going to do? Like, is it going to create a lot more employment for the state of Delaware? Is it going to put you on equal footing with a national competitor so that you can grow faster in Delaware? We want to see something that's going to give us some indirect return on our investment.
Thank you. We had 3 or 4 questions related to looking for information for other grants. So Anastasia, what would you say?
If you are looking for other grant opportunities, is that was the question?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so if you join our weekly newsletter, we typically share information about different grant opportunities from resource partners. I know there are several that are coming through the pipeline now as we are at the top of the year. So strongly encourage you to sign up for our newsletter so we can distribute that information out to you, as well as reach out to one of your regional business managers because one of us may know of a grant opportunity that fits your business need.
Great, thank you. Along those lines, are there women-owned business grants?
Yes, there are some women-owned business grants that are that actually there's one coming up soon. So please reach out to me. My email address is in there, and I can get you connected with that partner who's providing that.
So this individual would like more information on the 5-year financial projections. What can you tell us about that?
I could take that one. So I know there are a couple questions regarding financials, and Jim and I did an excellent job of going over. So 5-year projections is how your business is going to grow from year 1 to year 5. So what you're not going to have solid numbers because you're not there yet. So what you're basing on where you're starting now, what your sales, services, how your business is going to make money, and then how are you going to cover your expenses over the next 5 years. So that's what you're kind of showing us. And if you're in from the STEM category, from the research side, so it's going to take X amount of dollars to run this part of our research and development. And then once we get to product launch or manufacturing, it's going to take this amount of money. And this is, what we plan on making from that. So that's your 5-year projections. In those as well, we would like to see job growth. So are you adding employees, whether that be full-time, part-time employees as well, during those 5 years? When it comes to income statements versus balance sheets, income statements are also known as profit and loss statements. So I know somebody asked about those. We'd like your year to date one if you have it, if you don't have anything current, because I know we're right in the middle of tax season. So we're all about to get started working on our taxes. But if you can get us from January of 2025 to December of 2025, that would be sufficient as well, if you'd like to include that. But if you have something that takes you through maybe like February, that'll be okay. But I know we haven't completed or started the month yet. So 2025 would work for balance sheet and income statement.
JJ. Um, so will there be assistance with reducing the number of pages if I already have a really long business plan, especially since many of the questions require detailed responses?
You get 20 pages to explain your project. After page 20, then the judges stop reading. Feel free though, remember the regional business managers, we're here to help you out and let you know. We basically split the office in two, and half of us are the regional business managers are here on the front end to help you personalize your application as much as possible. And then the finance team is on the back end, and they're the judges for the first few rounds.
Great, thank you. Let's see. Someone indicated, I would love to see examples of what others have written for proposals. Who would like to take that?
Yeah, we're not able to give you another applicant's proposal, but we are able to connect you with previous winners, and they're always so willing to provide feedback. We had one today. As you could tell, we had technical issues with the volume, but when this webinar is live on our website, you'll be able to hear directly from Mr. William Donato, owner of Harvey Haven Lavender Farm. He gives you information about his experience and some tips. So we definitely can connect you with a former recipient, but we are not able to provide you with their proposal.
Thank you. The next question is, there are a couple of these, and they are related to basically what does majority located in Delaware mean? So for instance, I'm looking to find out if I can qualify as a business LLC registered in Pennsylvania. I've been doing business in Delaware for 11 months now with a physical location in Wilmington and Delaware independent contractors.
Yeah, I mean, without understanding more detail, I mean, the business has to be located in Delaware. We don't care where it's incorporated. We want to know where the employees are.
And the next part of that is when you say businesses need to be in Delaware, to confirm, employees and corporations need to be taxed and incorporated in Delaware, but have the ability to function in other states.
I guess, are they selling things to other states like an online business? If the employees are in Delaware, or 51% of the employees are in Delaware, it doesn't matter where the item gets shipped to once it's sold.
This is a really good one. Can past winners apply with a new or different business in a different sector? Please explain.
No, past winners, if you won in the past, we cannot apply again for edge funding.
Thank you. Next question. Uh, do you get an email confirmation of your application submission? Jory.
You do not. The only email confirmation that you get is that you are about to sign and that you have signed the document that is embedded in the application. That's why I stated earlier, it is very, very important that you hit the blue complete application button. If you want to know if your application was submitted, you can contact us. But as Anastasia stated earlier, please do not wait till March 6th at 3:55 p.m. to ask me if your application has been submitted. We do have, we won't have enough hands on deck that day to answer everybody's questions. So once you submit it, if you need to know, you can send an email. You don't have to call or anything. You can send an email to myself, which I can put my email in the chat, or one of the regional business managers, and we will double check to see if your application has been completely submitted. But yes, there is no email confirmation on the actual submission process.
All right. Also for JJ, for the financial statements, do you want last year's reports, the most recent year to date, or both?
If you have most recent, submit that. But year to date will, but if you have last year's, like 2025, it should carry you at least through December. It shouldn't stop at like June or August because you had like a whole quarter that we would be missing. The more details, the better when it comes to financial statements. So I know that it's like one submission with a PDF, but if you want to submit a year's worth, um, then that's fine as well. The years from January to December would be sufficient for review.
Regarding the STEM track, actually, this is a match question that would be much better answered by a regional business manager. But there were a couple of match questions, including, can you give us some examples of what a match might be?
I mean, I guess an easy example is if you're buying a machine that costs, $120, 30 of it would be from you and 90 of it could be from the grant. If you have a specific question about a specific match, feel free to reach out to us. That's why we're here. It's hard to answer all of them individually, but that's just an example.
Yes, exactly. Thanks, Joe. Also regarding match, so if I request $33,000 and I show my match that is one third of that, which is 11,000, will Edge Grant fund the full requested 33 if I win?
Yeah, so different with Edge 2.0, the judges may decide that they want to give you even more money, but if the judges decide that you win and that's what they want the amount they want to give you, then that's decided.
Great. This question is, how will it count against the application if we do not have a state of Delaware business license?
As as I mentioned before, if you do not have your business license, you will automatically be eliminated from the EDGE process. So please make sure you get your business license, onestop.delaware.gov, and we are also accepting temporary business license as long as they are current. But that is mandatory for you to have your business license.
All right. Next question is, and this is another match question. So for tech and software, the match acts like evaluation for the software that is built. I think that's kind of a Joe level question.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I would have to talk to you to better understand and check. But if the owner is writing the software, I don't think that would count. Jory, am I right there?
Say that one more time for me.
If the owner is writing the software and they're trying to chart to
So for matching funds, as far as what you can use them for, owners cannot receive funding. So you cannot pay yourself with grant funds and you can't use the funds. So the best way to do that is do it based on things that you need, maybe like marketing, which you could hire somebody to do. But if you're going to do the marketing, then that needs to be a part of your funding, if that makes sense. So let's say you want to do flyers and you're going to make them yourself. Make that part of your matching funds and not the grant funds, because no funding can go to the owners or guarantors. So that's anybody who is a 20% owner or more in the business.
Great, thank you. How many tax years have to be submitted with the application, JJ?
None. Please do not submit tax returns. Please only submit. Tax returns can be anywhere from 15 pages to hundreds of pages. And we don't want them not to be reviewed or your financials not reviewed because you submitted tax returns. So again, the easiest way, balance sheet, income statement. If you're having a hard time gathering those things, speak to an accountant and they can hopefully get that together. If you already have one, they should be able to pull that for you. If you do not have one, then one of the regional business managers can kind of help you with a template for that or showing you examples of what you can put together for a balance sheet or income statement. But please do not submit tax returns.
One thing I'd like to mention is people are putting questions in Mentimeter. So if you have questions, please put them in the Q&A section. They are coming through on the Mentimeter website. So questions need to come here. Thank you.
And also with the financials, everybody has financials. Even if you're not selling anything yet, your business has to buy that business license. So you'll have that in your financials. So it might be thin, but you'll have financials.
That is where your 5-year projections come in. So for our startups, our newer businesses that are under 2 years, highlighting your 5-year projections and your proposals will definitely help.
And if people are having a lot of questions regarding financial projections and profit, income statement, balance sheets, I know we mentioned the Resource Partners Small Business Development Center, Launcher, and the Pete DuPont Freedom Foundation. They have specific programs that are able to help you in navigating and understand these numbers. So please take full advantage of connecting with them.
Great, thank you. And Anastasia, while I have you, can you share the details for your in-person workshop next week again, please?
Yes, so the in-person workshop will take place from 2 to 4 o'clock at the Kent County Levy Court in Dover in partnership with Kent Economic Partnership. We did share information about it in our weekly newsletter that went out yesterday, and there will be information going out on social media. If you need a copy of the flyer, please email me. My email address is in the chat box, and or one of us business managers, and we'll make sure we get that over to you.
Okay. Do you have award recipients that are professional services like consulting, awardees who are not selling physical items or products?
Absolutely. We've had plenty in our previous Edge that are consultings, mental health, and things like that.
Next question is how can we use an SBA loan to match the Edge grant?
I don't know why not, as long as it's part of the project that you're submitting for.
All right, I'm scrolling down questions. There are a lot of very specific to their situation questions.
I see one that just popped out to me, Andrea. If you, the question is, can I contact one of you for assistance if I'm not going to apply for Edge at this time? Absolutely. The answer is yes. If you are looking to apply for Edge grant in the future, again, still engage in the process. As I mentioned, the competition information will be public, so you can come and attend, watch the pitches, hear the feedback from the judges, take some notes. And if you're looking to apply in the fall, we can work with you. This is actually the best time if you're looking to apply. In the fall, you can start working on it now, so you're not trying to rush and get everything done within the next 30 days. This application cycle opens up on Friday, next Friday. Super excited about that.
All right, next question. Can you win in both the STEM and entrepreneur sections, even with one application?
No.
No, you need to apply for either or, and that will be project based, like Joe stated earlier. I would highly recommend that you talk to an RBM before applying, and that way they know, they tell you kind of which category you should apply in. But please, you can apply for multiple businesses that you own at the same time. However, you can't apply for both categories, if that makes sense.
Yes, thank you. Um, if we win, what is the commitment? Are there grant meetings, data submissions, etc.?
If you win, so if you make it all the way to the end, you will be provided the in-kind services, but there is a grant agreement that you have to sign. You're required to stay in the state of Delaware for 5 years, and there is reporting requirements as well. You have 1 year to use the money and then provide invoices, which we will use based on your budget. And you have to pass all compliance checks that we have prior to receiving your funding. We will be conducting, so for our winners, we will be conducting meetings to go over the grant agreement and any questions that you have, compliance issues, and then reporting as well, and what that looks like future forward. That way, there, once you sign everything, you're completely aware of what your commitment is.
See. More match questions.
Could you go back
Oh,
to our contact information page and
Yes,
those
I can do
things?
that. And I also seen one, my question wasn't answered about the mobile drug fingerprinting business. If that's allowed to, if that's a project that's allowed to go through.
oh, Anastasia, you muted yourself. Okay. So if we are not answering certain questions, it's because we want you to contact a regional business manager because they're very specific questions. And they would likely want to talk further with you about your business. And as Joe said, it's less about your business and more about your project. There are a lot of match questions in here. So most of your match questions, if we haven't answered them, we will ask you to reach out to the regional business manager. Um,
I just wanted to say, I know we didn't cover the date for this, but the application goes live at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know we didn't mention the time for on February 6th. So on February 6th at 9 a.m., the application will go live. So you can, from that point up until the application closes at 4 p.m., you can apply for Edge.
great. Thank you, JJ. Here is a great question. If a match is not an issue, what is the maximum that you are allowed to request?
I guess it depends the category. The entrepreneur category has a maximum of $400,000, and the STEM category has a maximum of 750,000. But as one of us said, I think Anastasia said earlier, you don't want to ask for the top amount unless you have. I mean, I can't think of what reason why you would. Yeah, I mean, I guess you're allowed to, but I wouldn't.
Yeah, and remember, if you're asking for the full 400,000, your match would be 133,000 that you would need to match up.
And while for some that might not be an issue, for instance, this person said if match is not an issue, what's the max? But please remember, we're trying to be fair and equitable and not pick one person as a winner takes all sweeper in any category.
Yeah, and remember, like this is a contest, so you're going up against like 100 other companies, and we're choosing the most compelling ask. So it's got to be really compelling to win.
Uh, Here's another question. What if I pay someone to write the grant for me? Can the funding be used for that payment? So I'd like someone to answer that, and I'd like someone to also respond on the issue of using someone to write a grant for you.
So that's totally up to you if you decide to have somebody to write your proposal for you. But you cannot, if you already paid that person prior to signing that agreement, you cannot pay that person with edge funding. Everything that you match and that edge funding has to be after you receive that edge funding.
So what if the person planned to pay the grant writer after winning? Could it be used?
No, because they would already have written it. The work would already have been done.
Great point, Joe. And also remember that if you have someone else write your grant application for you, make sure that you have read and know that application inside and out, because if it gets to the pitch level, your grant writer can't pitch for you. You have to pitch your own idea, and judges will be asking you questions based on what's in your application as well as what is in your pitch. So it's important that you know that submitted application inside and out.
Yes, and if this is your first time hearing about Edge Grant, and it's your first time ever applying for a grant, I strongly encourage you to download the template, the rubric, take a look at it, connect with one of our resource partners, and not apply this round, but come to the pitch competition, see what it all entails, and see if this is a route that you would like to take for your business. Meet with one of us business managers so we can learn about your business, learn about what your business needs are, and how the funding is going to help your business grow. Because EDGE stands for Encouraging Development, Growth, and Expansion. So if I have an ice cream shop and I'm looking to expand it from Kent County into Newcastle County, I'm going to apply for the Edge grant to help me with securing the machines, the coolers, the freezers, everything that I need to be able to grow into Newcastle County. So I know ice cream shop is like a smaller scale business, but that's just something to keep in mind. I know we're wrapping up now. We are at our last minute. So if there are questions that you had that weren't answered, please reach out to us. I have it on this page for Joe's email, my email, and Gemini's. I also have provided our finance director's email address in the chat box. Thank you so much for your time today. And please get connected with us, join our weekly newsletter, as well as following us on social media.
Thanks.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone, for joining.